Hello everyone and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back with another High Republic comic review, this time issue 6 of the main Marvel series. Things are definitely getting complicated now that the Battle of Jedha has taken place. Vildar is trapped under the rubble of the almshouse, and Olivia and Levan may be trapped under the fallen statue. We open up with Tey's monologue, talking about how this entire event already happened. Talking about how people remember where they were when the fight broke out, and just how different the perspective was depending on where the person was. And Jedha would never be the same. Olivia and Levan were able to dodge the statue, but are now seeing all of the destruction that is playing out within Jedha City, and realize just how much trouble they're in when they receive a distress call from Maddie from within the city. Maddie is doing everything she can to help, but Vildar is still under the rubble, trying to do everything he can to keep the rubble from coming down on top of him and everyone else trapped inside. Which includes a very rude member of the Path blaming Vildar for everything. He tries to just roll with the punches and attempts to block out the negativity and focus on the Force, but the levelers have dampened everyone's ability, so Vildar is not as strong as he should be, and it's making the situation that much more difficult. At the same time, Tey is still fighting off the Nihil intruders as they continue to search the temple for the Rod of Daybreak. Tey is in a bit of a tight spot when a Guardian steps in and blasts the thug in the chest, and naturally the first thing he questions is why Tey is not in his cell. But a flash grenade is dropped as the Nihil escape, leaving Tey and the Guardians to wonder what their next move should be. Immediately they are ready to throw Tey back in his cell and continue to guard the temple like always, causing Tey to speak up to the Guardians, telling them that they should be doing their best to protect the people and the city as well as the temple. They shouldn't be ignoring the chaos around them. Back in the rubble pile, Vildar is still struggling, trying to lift the rubble just enough to let some of the smaller members out to safety, but it's too heavy. The skeptical member of the Path keeps throwing jabs at Vildar, claiming that it's still all his fault, and proceeds to taunt him about whether or not he can hold up the rubble. But it looks like the others may have had a change of heart and begin to cheer him on, giving him words of encouragement, knowing that he would get them all to safety. Vildar tells them about the events of his childhood when he was so scared that he thought he was going to die until a Jedi came to his rescue, and they realize then that he was also strong in the Force. And just when you think Vildar is about to pull off a miracle, the rubble begins to shift, and Vildar knows it's not by his doing. Vildar looks up and to his surprise sees the familiar face of Tey Serrik, who, along with the Guardians, begin moving the rubble out of the way. But there are still some trapped, and Vildar is still holding up the rubble, so Maddie alongside the Guardians begin chanting, "I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me." And through the chanting, Vildar finds his strength and throws the rubble off. But now half the city is in chaos, and lots of innocent civilians are hurt. They need a safe house. Somewhere the people can go while the Jedi attempt to bring peace back to Jedha, and Vildar knows just the place. Enlightenment. Even with the sisters trying to hold the door shut, Vildar still manages to make his way inside, claiming that Enlightenment is a safe haven. The owner said so himself, and Sanctuary is exactly what the city needs right now. It's absolutely mind-boggling to see Jedha in flames like this. After seeing it in Rogue One, I just assumed it was old, or that all of the destruction happened during the Clone Wars. But seeing now that it happened nearly 300 years prior is just wild to me. I'm very curious to see how Vildar's interaction with the Path will alter the story moving forward, seeing as both sides could never get along. But Cavan, like always, does such a great job of writing a nail-biting story that makes you sigh so hard when you're done reading. It's exciting and exhausting all at once, and I'm very excited to see what happens going forward. But what were your thoughts? Will the Path come to reason and see why the Jedi are good, and how much worse will Jedha get before the battle is over? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video, and we hope to see you again very soon.